Hi, Leisha. So this is your general reading. Order 4632. I apologize for my voice. I woke up like this. It kind of started yesterday. But let me know how this reading resonates with you. Your other physical order items are going to be on their way right now. I mailed them yesterday. I have my computer here. That's where I'm getting your energy from. So you're more than welcome to watch this as many times as you wish. It is yours to keep. I would recommend to watch it by yourself first, and then if you wish to share it with others, then you're more than welcome to. It's totally up to you, and it's at your discretion. If it's getting to be too much at any point, just pause it and then come back to it. It's totally cool. That's totally fine. So the other thing that I like mentioning is every card reader is a little bit different, just as you know. I do use jumper cards. I'm pretty sure that you know what jumper cards are, because that's how my spirit team wants to communicate with me. How my cards come out depends on how, again, depends on how I read them. The other thing that I like mentioning too is as they come out is kind of like past to present and future. So future is not set in stone. It is totally up to you on what you want to take away from this. If you want to take anything away from this, it's your life. It's however you wish to live it. Oh, that's interesting. The other thing that I like mentioning is that I will pause in between shuffling of decks, just unless something's coming to me, so you don't have to sit there waiting for me to shuffle, okay? And this is energy that I'm reading as of right now in this moment. Something else that needs to come out. It's just being stubborn. Okay. So the first card kind of sets the tone of the reading as well. And yours is full moon. So I feel like you kind of not live by the moon, but you pay attention to the moon cycles. And you might even be doing like moon water and moon things during like certain time frames of the lunar cycle. This is also about like releasing and cleansing, and also about like ending a cycle of some sort. I think that there's something that keeps coming and going out of your life. And this full moon card is kind of representation of this. So everything is like a big cycle. Our life is a cycle. The moon phases are a cycle. There's ups and downs in our life that cycles. Lessons are cycles. All these sorts of things. So I feel like this full moon is really representative of you, okay? And of your manifestations and releasing stuff that you no longer need, or trying to release things that you're not wanting to hold on to any longer. The next card is interesting because it's Divine Masculine sideways. When my cards come out sideways like this, it's like it's an upright, but it's like past, present, and future. The thing that I was like, oh, this is interesting, is shortly, right after this one, Divine Feminine came out in upright. So I'm reading this one of two ways. There is a Divine Masculine energy around you, and they have been around you for quite some time, like again, and I think they're going to continue to be in your life, that are influencing you. So they appear to be like leadership qualities and kind of like bring strength to you and empowerment to you. Because I feel like the Divine Feminine is more your energy. Now, everybody has masculine energy and everybody has feminine energy. So I also feel like this is kind of you too, like in a nutshell, because your Divine Masculine energy isn't coming out as much as your Divine Feminine energy. The Divine Feminine energy is like your Empress energy. It's also about like nurturing and balancing, and it's also about your emotions, and it's also about like nurturing and caring, kind of like motherly, Okay. Whereas your masculine is like your, again, very leadership, kind of like, this is what's going on. This is the here and now. I'm very decisive about things. It's also about like standing up for yourself, being rough and rugged and tough and those sorts of things. So I think that your divine masculine needs to come out a little bit more. Everything isn't of equal balance, okay? There's always something ahead of the other. So it's kind of like light and dark. They're never balanced. They're either like, they're never balanced. They can try and be balanced, but they'll never be balanced. Same with divine feminine energy and divine masculine energy. They're never balanced. Everybody's always like one or the other for the most part. Sometimes the other one that's kind of more subconscious, not using it as much, needs to come out a little bit more. So I feel like your divine masculine needs to come out a little bit more. I think that you're thinking things that you want to say, but you're not actually going ahead and saying them. You're keeping them to yourself. Some sort of apology is going to be happening at some point in time. This is the middle of the deck. So this is about like trying to right wrongs with somebody. This is trying to amend something. Now, notice the roses, okay? So whoever this is representing to you, roses are beautiful. They are loving. They bring love and those sorts of things to your life. And they also bring thorns. So just be cautious of the thorns, because I have a feeling that they might still be hiding something, whoever this is. I don't know what it is though. Now, ego came out shortly after victory. So victory, when this apology happens, you're going to feel like you're on top of the world, like you have accomplished something, and that it's like meant to be. You're very proud, you're very successful, your goals are being achieved, like everything's coming into alignment for what you have tried to manifest and what you have been thinking. Just don't let your ego get in the way of it, okay? So make sure that you don't have a false self or a false sense of hope. See things for actually what they are, okay? Don't let your ego get in the way. Now, fresh start came out kind of like this. So it could be upright, it could be sideways, one of the two. I think it's up to you to decide how you want this card to be. If it's upright with this person, then you have a new beginning with this person. There's going to be a reconciliation going on with this person, like let's try it again kind of deal. But you gotta, again, not have all your faith into this person. You still have to, they still have to gain your trust. Boundaries are going to be huge, okay? So the other thing too is, again, since it was like this, it could be sideways like this, which means that it's like past, present, and future, and that is in reverse, okay? And again, kind of going back to this masculine that's coming in and out of your life, again, masculine energy is coming in and out of your life. This is kind of representing that too, because the fresh start keeps coming on and off, okay? If it's like this. So again, it's totally up to you. It's your life. It's however you should live it. I'm just trying to let you know what's coming to me and what the cards are trying to tell me. I don't think you're quite ready for this. I don't think you're mentally prepared for all of this going down. And even when it goes down, you're going to be second guessing yourself because of this card. Okay. Your walls are going to be up, and it's going to be about it's because you're still healing. You're vulnerable. And you haven't fully you don't fully know how to love yourself, your self-love, how to look after yourself. When I say that, looking after yourself, it's not only like eating on time and sleeping at the right times and looking after yourself financially. It's also about having the mental clarity, and also about having that self-care and that self-love for yourself, okay? Because I don't think you've been doing that very often. So you're still healing, and you're still healing probably maybe a little bit from your shadow work. Shadow work reflects on your inner child. So you could possibly be doing shadow work, but just be careful with shadow work as well, because sometimes it can be very triggering. But your walls are still up big time, which I think that they need to be. But your boundaries, instead of viewing them like walls, view them like doorways, is going to be easier. Walls are big and thick, usually stone. They are hard to build. They take time to build, and they take time to break down or pull down, okay, or disassemble. So if you view boundaries like walls, it's going to be very, very difficult, which a lot of people do. If you view boundaries like a doorway, doors are a lot easier to open and close than walls, right? So if somebody crosses your boundaries, close the door. You're in charge of the door. You can close it as much as you want. You can swing it open. You can slam it shut. You're in charge of the door for how they react to your boundaries. This also goes to friends, family, anybody that's in your life, coworkers, all those sorts of people. Always set healthy boundaries and respect everybody's healthy boundaries too. The bottom of the deck is water sign. So, and then after that is shadow work. So this is kind of futuristic stuff. So the shadow work is, again, I think it's kind of more like not right now, possibly in the future, work on shadow work. So this is, again, about a deep reflection of your past, to heal from your past. It's about that inner healing and that awareness of what you're actually healing from your past. And you're working on yourself to be a better version of you. Again, self-love, self-appreciation, self-care. Because if you don't know how to do that for yourself, how are you going to know how to do that for someone else? Whether that be a love interest, or whether that be a child, or whether that be a friend, those sorts of things. Okay. So I think that we really need to work on that a little bit. But the water sign, I think that somebody among all of this is a water sign. So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. However, I also view this like you need to be a little bit more fluid in how you think and how you act. Because I think that once you get an idea in your head, you're very like, this is how it is. That's your divine masculine, okay? But at the same time, you're sticking to it up here. You're not expressing it. So that's your divine feminine, okay? So you need to be a little bit more fluid with things. Let me grab another deck. I'll be right back. Thought just occurred to me as I was shuffling these. When you do spell work, do you ever do a divination prior to your spell work? Because I have a feeling that sometimes you need to do a little bit of divination regarding your spell work. Oh, that's why that flew out. Okay. And I think that you're kind of reserving yourself a little bit. Some of this is going to reiterate the first deck, which I'm not surprised about. Okay, the first card in this deck that flew out was Limitations and Fear. So this one here is, again, you're kind of holding yourself back because you, I think, are concerned about the future. I think you're one to like get your mind racing and your imagination kind of gets the better of you. You always kind of think of the worst case scenario, the worst case of whatever could become. If you do that all the time, then that's what you're gonna manifest. Okay. So I think that your limitations and your fears are kind of holding you back a little bit from doing things. So you need to kind of, again, stop that way of thinking, because like attracts like. So positive attracts positive, negative attracts negative. If you always think about the worst case scenario, the worst case scenario might happen. Okay. Not going to say it will happen, but it might happen because you keep thinking about the worst case scenario. I used to be like that too. But it's really hard to stop that when you are on autopilot doing that. and you always have done that, okay? Now, the next thing that came out was facade and beliefs, and then also storm and unexpected. So I think that this is involving our person again, where your beliefs about this person were kind of shattered a little bit and almost like they were taking a mask off because they weren't actually showing you their true self. Notice how it's kind of wires and stuff on this picture. So it's like a robot. You almost feel like very robotic, like you're same day, might be a little different, but you get up, you get ready, you go about your day, do your bedtime stuff, maybe watch in front of the TV, do a little bit of reading or whatever you do, and then back to bed. It's the same thing day in and day out. So you feel like you're kind of on autopilot, robotic kind of deal. Storm and unexpected is again regarding this. So I think that somewhere something has disrupted your normal routine and this other individual. So storms come in all shape and forms. So there's like the gentle spring rainstorm, and then there's also like the raging hurricane and tornado storm. If you relate to this time of year, it's like your really nice fluffy white snow that's falling versus your blizzard whiteout. Okay, so I think that you are kind of blowing this storm a little bit out of proportion. You might be having a little bit of a breakthrough, an epiphany moment going on after you kind of come to the conclusion about this, but you still feel like this person is watching you or inspecting you, which there probably are over social media. Like it kind of feels that way, but it's not in a creepy way. But again, if you're kind of wanting to do a reconciliation with this person, you might want to rethink some things. But again, it's your life. It's however you want to take it. And again, the control and tactics. So you got to kind of set those boundaries in place so that this doesn't really happen. Because they can't really control what you do, and vice versa. You can't control what other people do. You can't control what other people say. You can influence it, but you can't control it. Nobody should control anyone else. Okay? So I think that this was a big thing with this person, okay? Avoidance and stalemate came out sideways. So again, it's like it's in reverse. There's something that you are avoiding that you might be clashing with. And I think it's the truth of getting down to the bottom of things because you don't want to believe what you're actually seeing and witnessing. So I think this is going to continue on because it's like this, and it's like, again, past, present, and future. You are, again, very nurturing, very compassionate, again, a very Empress-like energy, okay? You're very intuitive. You just don't use it for yourself. If you have had those intuition tests pop up on your feed, it is probably for a reason. For you to tune into your intuition, to try and get it to work for you, okay? Because I have a feeling that you're not trusting it as much as you need to. It's that little gut feeling that shouldn't trigger fear, anxiety, or any of those sorts of things. You're not thinking up here when you're using intuition. You're thinking with your gut. It lives in your solar plexus. Okay, so I think that there's some memories and some nostalgic moments that are going to be going on too. Futuristic wise regarding this individual. So they are going to be still tied to you in some way. I think, again, just kind of whether they're in your life or not, I think that they'll always be on your mind regardless. And you're going to have like those nostalgic moments. But bottom of this deck is forming and structure and solid foundation. So you need to be the one to build that solid foundation for yourself. Okay. So I feel like this is kind of a tower moment for you. So the tower in tarot is like, you're probably familiar with it, is like something that is like chaos. Like the rug has been pulled under you, that you keep falling and falling and falling. Something that is major in your life has occurred to steer you in another direction. Okay. Once you figure out that direction and where to kind of go, you build that solid foundation again so that you can rebuild stronger. Okay, so this is about this too, because again, you got the storm and then you got this. So we got tower, lightning, and things, and kind of chaos going on. And then we have this solid foundation and structure forming. So you need to, again, build that solid foundation for yourself. Get that negative thinking and stuff under control. Work on your self-care and self-love. And then you will have that solid foundation so that you can build upon it. So that you can form whatever you need to form and how you want to form yourself. Okay? So again, that's going to be like futuristic thing, because again, I don't think that this is quite what you had expected for this reading. Re-listen to this. I know it's going to be a pain in the butt and you're probably going to be like rolling your eyes, but I would highly encourage you to re-listen to this maybe in a couple weeks to let it sink in, to see if what I'm actually saying is actually going to resonate with you. Because I think that you're going to look at this and be like, no, I have no idea what the hell she's talking about for parts of it. But the bottom of the deck after the structure forming is about separation and longing. You're still going to want to be with this person because you're still going to feel the hurt and the pain. And this is going to be a very trying time for you. But just know what your self-worth and your expectations are of yourself, okay? Because you need to look after yourself. You need to guard yourself. So if this on and off again relationship is happening, it's probably a karmic because you have not learned the lesson from this person. Once you learn that lesson, then I think that that solid foundation is going to start. And then you're going to surrender and start releasing that crap. And you're going to start purging stuff that you no longer need out of your life. But again, this isn't going to be an overnight thing. I think this is going to take a lot of time and effort for you. But try this and see how it goes. Let me know how this resonates with you. But again, give it a chance. Re-watch this maybe in a couple of weeks, like I mentioned. But let me know. And if you have any questions, let me know. But again, your physical items are on their way, so they should be there in a few days. But thank you again for trusting me. Thank you for trusting me with your energy. And I shall talk to you later. Bye.